On Thursday, July 10th at 3:36 p.m. Central Time, we have this month's full moon happening in the sign of Capricorn. As always, full moons are associated with things coming to fruition and things being illuminated and revealed, and it's also a powerful time of release and letting go of those things that no longer serve us. With this full moon happening in the sign of Capricorn, it might bring a more like serious or grounded energy, and it's asking us to kind of reflect back and zoom out a little bit and take stock of those things that we've built in our lives. It's inviting us to really reflect on how far we've come over the last 6 months since the new moon in Capricorn that happened on December 30th of 2024. Reflecting on those things that we've achieved and those things that we've accomplished and those things that we've manifested into our lives, as well as the things that, maybe haven't been working out so well over the last 6 months, or, reflecting on some of those lessons that we've learned. And, were they hard lessons? Were they lessons that we had to learn the hard way? Or have we integrated these lessons? Lots of things to reflect on. With this full moon, I kind of got this visual of how, we're each climbing our own individual mountain, and under the light of this full moon, it's kind of like we've reached a certain high point on this mountain. Not necessarily like the ultimate pinnacle or the highest point on the mountain, although for some people it might be, but it's kind of like we're at this higher spot that gives us this vantage point to be able to, see things a little more clearly over the last 6 months, and giving us this ability to, reflect on those things that, went well over the last 6 months, and those things that didn't go so well, and, reflecting on those things that we're ready to release under this full moon. Maybe on this journey up the mountain, we packed a little too heavy, and, it's time to release those things that, we're not going to need on our journey forward. Or maybe when you began your journey, you really set too high of expectations for yourself, and so it's time to release some of those expectations. Or, maybe you've reached a point where it's like, all right, I don't want to climb this certain mountain anymore, and so it's kind of like, releasing certain long-term goals that are no longer aligned with you anymore. Keep in mind that full moons illuminate, and so with the ruler of this full moon being Saturn, and Saturn is currently stationing, it's not officially stationing until Saturday, but it's stationing, so it's kind of like a really, really potent spot in this full moon chart, and it's also conjunct Neptune, and it's sextile Uranus that is newly in Gemini. So I kind of just got this visual again of how we're on top of this mountain and under the light of this full moon, and with that sextile to Uranus, it's like we're just seeing things a little more clearly than we have as of lately. And it's also trine the planet Mars that's in Virgo, so we're being asked to release with intention and kind of cut away and simplify those goals that we set for ourselves, and only in a way